All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Nina Shuken, and I'm super excited to present my research to you all. So let's get started. The title of my project was Social Media for Social Change: How Nonprofits Can Use Social Media to Engage Stakeholders and Maximize Funding. So for my internship, I worked with sustainability ambassadors, and they are a local nonprofit that engage middle and high school aged youth to create and implement impact projects in their schools and communities. So during this time with sustainability ambassadors, I researched the key barriers that small environmental nonprofits face when it comes to social media marketing and management, and how they can directly translate social media communication into valuable actions such as donations and volunteer time. All right, so my research questions were: what are the key barriers that small environmental nonprofits are facing in regards to efficient social media use? And what are the methods used to directly translate social media engagement into valuable resources such as money and volunteer time? So during my 10-week internship with sustainability ambassadors, I worked with their youth intern team a lot. So kids between the age of 12 to 17. And I created different resource sheets with them. I wrote some short video scripts, and I did a lot of observation and gave them a lot of feedback on different projects that they were working on. So during this time, I was also researching social media marketing and management from a bunch of different fields. I was looking at communications, sustainability, marketing, economics, and then I also had supplemental information from my observations from working with them, as well as some expert opinions from outside sources. So during this time, I decided to research the most effective communication styles that nonprofits can use when engaging in social media advocacy. So the first one that I identified was two-way communication. And what this looks like is basically you have your nonprofit who are communicating using social media, and then you have them giving their audience a way to communicate back. So this could look like asking questions in a caption and having people answer it in the comment section. It could look like posting polls or question boxes on an Instagram story. Responding to DMs or private messages is a great way to engage in this. And it basically, you're having just two lanes of communication. So it's not just the nonprofit communicating to the audience, but also the audience communicating back to them. The second style that I identified was values-based communication. And values-based communication really focuses on incorporating the values and mission of an organization into everything that they're sharing. So even if they're sharing a post that is like Merry Christmas, it should be Merry Christmas. Here are 5 nonprofits to donate to while you're in the giving season. And it's really just keeping the values and mission incorporated into everything that you're posting, keeping it consistent, and making sure that people are aware of what your mission is and why you are sharing this information. So the last strategy that I identified was the pyramid model of social media advocacy. And this is a useful model for nonprofits to use when they're translating that social media engagement into real tangible actions such as volunteer time and donations. So within the pyramid, we have the base level, which is reaching out to people. So this looks like that two-way communication, keeping people engaged in your content, having a good social media presence, that sort of thing. The second level is keeping the flame alive. So this is where those first two styles of communication really come into play. By using those, you can keep your audience super engaged, posting consistently, and kind of gaining a broader variety of people who are seeing your content. And then the third and top level is stepping up to action. And what this looks like is we are translating that engagement from social media into that donations and volunteer time. So this could look like call to action posts, thanks so much for engaging with our content. We would love if you would donate to our organization. Here's a link you can click. Here's a link to sign up for volunteer hours, that sorts of thing. So we're really using this model to translate that social media engagement into real tangible actions for nonprofits to use. All right, so during my time with sustainability ambassadors, I also researched the key barriers that nonprofits face when it comes to social media marketing and management. And the three key barriers that I was able to identify during my time with them were a lack of educational resources for social media management, a lack of consistent formatting guidelines and engagement style, and a lack of consistent delegation or strategy for social media creation and posting. So let's get into some of the solutions for those barriers. For the first one, lack of educational resources. For sustainability ambassadors specifically, they had a lot of their youth intern team doing work on their social media. So these are kids who are between the age of 12 to 17. They don't have any formal education in marketing or media management. So it was really important to create resource sheets and educational materials for that team within the nonprofit to make this information accessible and comprehensive to them so that they can engage in social media advocacy in a way that is useful, but also understandable. The second key barrier was a lack of consistent formatting guidelines and engagement style. And a solution to this is to decide on a set of formatting tools and share it with others if there are multiple people working on the same social media page. So this would look like having a set type of font that you use, a set size, set colors, and this not only helps all of your posts look consistent, but it also makes the page very aesthetically pleasing when you're looking at it as a whole. So the third key barrier for nonprofits was a lack of consistent delegation or strategy for social media creation and posting. So when you have a nonprofit that is having a bunch of different people work on their social media, it's really important to just delegate roles to a small team of people and have them have very specific jobs, but also work with each other to make sure that everything being shared is still cohesive and comprehensive. And this is where collaboration really comes into play, very important, but also having them each have a specific job will help this run a lot smoother. So the significance of this research was that nonprofits can use this research as a guide to manage their social media presence efficiently. In terms of sustainability ambassadors, I actually did create a guide for them based off of my specific observations and the research that I did during this time. And by furthering their mission through social media, they can achieve more projects in their communities, especially when we're using that pyramid model of social media advocacy, where we're translating social media engagement into those real life actions. This can help them to achieve their mission and implement more projects, and for sustainability ambassadors specifically, their youth impact projects. And by continuing the research how to make marketing tools accessible to nonprofits, we can give them valuable knowledge that helps them take their mission past social media and into their real life work. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining me today. I really appreciate you all listening to my research, and I will now take any questions.